toilet staring at my camel toe and being distracted as I speak, so I'll fix the camera. Yeah. Right. I'm again going to attempt to try and lay this out as clearly and as concisely as I possibly can for people. I mean, it is such an incredible reaction and response from people who are apparently, you know, thinkers, truth seekers, these types of things. And through, you know, observation of the physical and practical, you know, application and practical demonstration, I have come to the position that I stand on. It's not a whim, it's not an idea, it's not a concept, it's not something that I just decided I was going to, you know, partake in. But the response so far has been absolutely incredible, and it has really opened my eyes to the level of stupidity, you know, ego, Dunning-Kruger. You know, there's such a knee-jerk emotional reaction from people, and again, they don't even have the sensibilities to address why they're reacting like that. Again, what I'm demonstrating, what I'm showing is factual reality. It's no outlandish, it's demonstrable, and anybody can demonstrate these things for themselves. What we seem to be getting here is a reaction from the online community of flat earthers who, you know, for the majority seem to be hell-bent on perpetuating and pushing a particular narrative. And that narrative mainly is that the Earth's a stationary plane, right? Now again, at the very, very beginning, myself and Marty in the early videos, we spoke openly about this, and this, you know, people jumping to adopt mantras and models of the Earth and whatever else. And now we can see the problems that arise because of that. You know, the longer time goes on, people become settled and comfortable in their new little environment and think that they've, you know, that's it, I don't need to progress any further because I'm nice and comfortable, I found my little subculture, you know, of contrarians, and I'm just going to sit here and I'm quite happy to be sitting on one side of the fence while my representatives battle with the other side of the fence perpetually forever and ever because I have a little community that I feel safe in and I have a belonging and blah blah blah. The amount of these people that are barefaced lying, misrepresenting me, fabricating things from fucking nowhere is absolutely incredible. So I'm going to lay a couple of things out there and I'm going to listen to as much as I can suffer. A bunch of absolutely ignorant, cretonious morons that sit in a debate channel called Flat Earth Debate, headed by Nathan Oakley, who don't have the spine or the intellect to dare come and actually speak to me personally and ask exactly what it is I'm proposing and the reasons for why. Which makes me very, very suspicious of these people. I'm going through this as a process for myself, also for those who may be a bit confused by this whole thing and don't actually know what's being discussed and why it's being discussed. Right? Because again, I'm only looking for progress, I'm looking for productive, progressive discussion and ways in which we can, you know, make these postulations, these propositions and set out tests, okay? Now, it is a fact that in reality we have a directional vector. In reality we have a relationship of dense, you know, more dense objects and more buoyant objects, that being objects that have a less density, and there's a ratio to those things within a particular medium, right? It's what we call the buoyancy and density effect, where we get dense objects moving through a medium which is less dense than the object, and we have less dense, you know, bubbles and other objects that rise through a medium because they're less dense in the, you know, the medium. So we have an upward lift and we have a downward directionality, right? The question then comes about that, how can that be? What would be the cause of these things? Why do we have a directional vector? Why do we have a particular direction of down? Why do we see this motion of denser and less dense materials moving through particular mediums in the up and down vector? Right? Again, these are facts of reality. Right? You know, we let an object go and it appears to us that it moves towards the earth. These are the claims that are being addressed. Right? So I'm going to try and convey it, you know, as best I can, so that there is absolute clarity, because it's not that difficult, which again should arise suspicion in your mind about why certain factions are making this much more difficult than it actually has to be. Because so far the responses that are coming back are just nonsensical gibberish. Total and utter nonsensical gibberish. Right. First and foremost, let me address this misrepresentation, this straw man that they keep trying to attach to me, that I'm asserting that the earth is accelerating upwards. Right? Again, the motion of the earth, the proposition that there's a motion of the earth, would be upwards relative to us within the reference frame. So to us within the reference frame, there's a motion towards our feet. So we can say it's an upward motion. Right? Right, so I've drawn these lines here, right, so let's imagine, right, we're just on some rocket ship, right, we'll just do that for simplicity. Right, now this rocket ship is moving upwards, right, relative to us standing within it, right. So now us as viewers are looking at this from outside the reference frame of the rocket, the person within it, and its object. Okay? So, if this reference frame is moving uniformly at 1,000 miles per hour, that means that the reference frame, the man, and the object are all moving at 1,000 miles per hour. Okay? So if I draw another little line there, right? So if we can see this rocket going past our grid reference here, right? Excuse the squiggly lines, right? We're witnessing this going past our grid reference and it's moving at 1,000 miles an hour. So this grid reference would just go on indefinitely in both directions, right? I'm just using it as an aid so that you can visualise this and comprehend it, right? Now, as the person lets the object go, right, to the person within the reference frame, the object immediately appears to go down and hit the ground, right? So if at the moment of this moving through, and as it hits this line per se, right, and he lets that go, to him, that goes straight down. However, to us, that would continue in an upward trajectory, right? Although it would be slowing its rate down, because it's no longer attached to the reference frame, right? As soon as it's let go, it has got nothing pushing on it, so it's going to lose its momentum, right? Immediately. So as it starts to decelerate, remember, nobody here is claiming that when you let an object go that it accelerates to the ground, right? Nobody here is claiming that the reference frame is continually getting faster and faster and faster and faster. Right? This is where they're getting the problem. They're talking about objects and the rate of fall and how the reference frame would have to continually getting faster and faster and faster to see what we see. No, if the object's moving at 1,000 miles per hour, as soon as you let it go, right, it decelerates. And it's going to continue to decelerate until it reaches zero. Because that's what it wants to do. It wants to be at rest. Okay? So as that moves up, he lets that go to us outside the reference frame. It doesn't immediately go there. It's going to continue on past these rungs, but to him, it's still going to move downwards. Okay? So it's a deceleration of the object. The reference frame continues to move at 1,000 miles per hour, while that continues to get slower, giving you the appearance that the thing is falling at an ever-increasing rate. Okay? Okay. Hopefully that's clear for you. Let me just come back out. I talked with Nathan a short bit about yesterday. Change in acceleration absolutely causes a change in the vector of densities and pressure. Aye, that's what we're talking about. We'll get to hear what Nathan and his crew are saying. Because according to Nathan and his crew, this is the type of shit that you've got to put up with. The cause of something going up or down through the medium is purely down to density. This is the bit that they just keep missing. Deliberately, methinks. Right? Let me go back. Again, let me remove all this. We have an object of a set density, right? Right. In three-dimensional space. Now, what is it about density of the object that determines any sort of direction? What would determine its direction? Because you need a determining factor. You can't just say the density of an object makes it go places like it's got a fucking mind of its own. That is absolute childish or retarded hogwash, I'm afraid to say. The density of an object has got nothing to do with its directionality or its weight or any of these things. So you need another factor. So they'll say, it's density of the object relative to a medium. Okay, right, let's surround it with a medium. Right? Now we've got a less dense medium than the object. Where does the object go? How is it supposed to know where it's to go? What decides its orientation? What direction should it move in? These are the questions that they keep evading and avoiding while misrepresenting real skeptics and real people asking questions. So, a dense object, fine. Where's it supposed to go? You claim relative density disequilibrium. That's true when it's attached to the reference frame. So when it's attached to the reference frame, right? When it's attached to the reference frame, we establish that it moves downwards and less density moves upwards when it's attached to the reference frame. Because from my postulation, that's because the reference frame's the thing that's in motion. It's the reference frame that's given it its directionality. Let's take away the reference frame again. Oh, the Earth, we just have a dense object and a less dense medium. What is the deciding factor about where that object should go? And how are you going to get it? Because just by repeating density, it's more dense than the medium, that's not answering the question. Nowhere fucking near it. Talking about pressures and blah blah blah, you only get the pressure because, again, there has to be a causal factor. As we witness in free fall, the density disequilibrium, that being that a dense object moves down and a less dense material or a bubble moves upwards, and the medium, which would be water in this case, ceases to be. But they're claiming that it's relative, the density of that it's relative to the density of the medium surrounding it. Well, in free fall, it should make no difference. In free fall, this should still move down to the bottom, and your air bubbles or less dense or buoyant material should move upwards. But that stops being the case when no longer attached to the reference frame. I wonder what that could mean. So again, just like the globe earthers, flat earthers, and I'm not using this as a straw man, I'm just using it as a representation. We have an earth, a stationary earth on pillars, but we'll not even get to where it's fixed to or anything like that, or what that even means. We'll just grant them this little idiotic image, right? It's on pillars, right? So we've got an earth. Now what? What is it about this earth? Electromagnetisms and statics and electricity and blah blah blah, that gives a uniform downward direction, that creates the motion of density and buoyancy. How are you going to achieve that? I'm yet to see any of these people invert the density column, the directional vector, in the weight of any object or material. I can recreate and do that in any direction you require. Can any of these people? No, they fucking well cannot. But they've got the gall and the fucking cheek to sit there ignorantly talking about stuff they don't even comprehend. So I ask the question, stationary earth, what decides what goes down? What is it decides? Density, the object, we've just established. The density of an object in no way, shape or form gives it any sort of directional vector. What do you require in order to give it the direction of down? And here again lies the problem. The stationary earthers and the globe earthers are asserting that the object is the thing that moves through space, three-dimensional space within the reference frame. It actually moves to the Earth's surface. That is going to require a force. In order for an object to move, it requires a force. A force is a push, a pressure. Something has to press upon it in order to make it move. Again, they claim it's that moves through, which implies that there's an acceleration of the object. As we see in the demonstrations of gas and liquid, there is no displacement of the gas and liquid. Now they are trying to say that, oh, you need to be higher, you need to be higher. Again, your density disequilibrium motion vector disappears in free fall. There is no displacement of any gas and liquid in free fall. Therefore, there is no acceleration, because in actual reality, acceleration of gas and liquid displays displacement 100% of the time, every time, without fail. But they want us to imagine that there's something special that makes it all accelerate uniformly like one solid. And they're coming up with all sorts of mental gymnastics in order to achieve that. So, you've got no determining factor of your directional vector about why denser objects should go down through a medium and why less dense would go up through a medium. They're making idiotic claims about helium balloons. Helium balloon. There's an upward lift. Again, if I'm in a reference frame, right, let's talk about this. Again, I'm in a reference frame. Right? And I'm on a wee plane. Just excuse my fucking drawing here, it's terrible, right? Whatever. I'm on a wee plane, right? And I decide to jump out the plane. Right? Remember, this whole thing is in motion. Right? And because it's in motion, there's a compression of the air downwards. Right? Which creates a more dense layer here at the bottom and less pressure, less density of the air higher up you go. Okay? But the whole thing's still moving uniformly. The aircraft is to continually use lift, the upward lift, to keep it upwards. Right? Now when I jump out of that point of reference, right, immediately I start to decelerate, and I'm decelerating at an ever increasing rate. Then I pop my parachute. Right? Pop my parachute. Right? Now what happens is that increases its surface area, right, which catches more air on the upward draft. So immediately you feel a yank on your back, right, pulling at you up the way. Right? That's because that has decreased the rate at which you are decelerating. You're now decelerating slower than you were before you pulled the parachute. It's about deceleration, not acceleration, which is what these dumb fucks cannot get their twisted, idiotic, infantile little minds around, because they're fucking stupid. Absolutely stupid. I've not even started on their inane ramblings of utter fucking nonsense. What's going on outside the reference frame? I have no fucking clue. Again, people want to put limitations on it. Right? Oh, I would have to be moving through infinity. Hey. Would it? Where do you get the right to put a limitation on what's outside your reference frame? And what the limitation should and shouldn't be? Where do you get that right? Again, asking the stationary earthers, what's outside your reference frame? Your stationary idiotic earth is sitting on pillars. What are they connected to? The thing that it's connected to, what's that connected to? And that thing, what's that connected to? What's that connected to? We go back to an infinite regress yet again. So they're invoking the infinite. It's okay for them to do it. But yet, their silly little model doesn't actually hold up to reality. Because you can't have a stationary plane unless you invoke some woo-woo fucking nonsensical magic that accelerates everything towards the earth at the same rate, gas and liquid, so they don't displace. I wonder if we've heard that type of rhetoric before. Before I move forward listening to this fucking tripe, but again I'm going to get through some of it because it's very useful to highlight the stupidity, the ignorance. Well, Brandon, if there's no motion, right, of the earth, what makes an object go towards the earth? This is the point I keep trying to make. If you're asserting, and anybody's asserting that the earth is stationary, right? The earth's stationary, and I let go of that object. Under those conditions, you must assert that this thing moves itself through space. Three-dimensional space, not outer space. Through the space of reality, right? You have to assert that that is a thing that moves. You're going to need a causal factor for that. Just saying it's more dense than the medium, right? It's fine to say that when it's connected to the earth, but the minute that it's in a medium that's not connected to the earth, like it being in free fall, that motion stops. It stops moving through the medium because it's no longer connected to the reference frame. Because it's the reference frame that gives it its directionality and causes the pressure gradient. Again, I can recreate it in any direction you want. I can make it rotate and have the same effects. I can accelerate it linearly and have the same effects. And because I'm in an established reference frame, right, that may be moving uniformly, not constantly getting faster, I have to use constant acceleration in order to overcome it. Which is where they're getting the little pea-brains confused. Because they keep asserting that the earth would constantly have to get faster and faster and faster. Which is childlike, for the very reasons I've just explained. Because when I let an object go, it immediately begins decelerating. That means it's getting slower. But to their little fucking pea-brains, because they don't have an ability to think about these things, they just keep asserting it's the object that's getting faster and faster and faster. But they don't have a causal factor of what makes the object move. You need a cause, you need a force to make objects move. They don't just move themselves. That is absolutely retarded. Gary, you are... Go away. You're too thick to comprehend this. Look at the comments. I can't walk because my knees keep hitting my chin because the earth's moving up. Gary thinks he's a separate object hovering above the earth and it keeps impacting him like that because he's a fucking spastic. Total and utter spasmoid. What are you talking about, man? When you stand in an elevator and you push up, does your knees hit your chin? Fucking imbecile. Gary, nobody here ever claimed objects were accelerating or the earth was accelerating. Nobody. It's just you. You keep saying that, hoping that it sticks because you're a fucking idiot. Go to fuck, son. You're not capable of being here and having any sort of reasoned discussion. You don't have the intellectual capability. You're too full of emotional impulses because your wee beliefs and your ego are taking hold. I'm going to ignore you now. You're a fucking cretin, son. No worthy of the shit off my arse. Fuck off. Ryan, the objects, the whole thing, let's say the whole thing's moving 1,000 miles an hour. That means that's moving at 1,000 miles an hour. Now when I let go of it, it's now no longer connected, so it starts to lose its 1,000 miles per hour. Do you think that if I fired you up in a rocket right now and I was accelerating the rocket up at 1,000 miles an hour and you let that go, it would just hover in front of you? Is that how fucking dumb you are? You think that, and you're in a rocket, it goes 1,000 miles an hour, right? And you let that go. You, in your mind, you think it should just hover there. This is the stupidity I have to fucking deal with. Wow. Fuck me. Yes, that's right, Gary. It's just that you're too fucking thick to comprehend that. You're an absolute moron. Now you're going to be ignored, son. You've got nothing to offer. Nothing. Your stupidity's boring now. I don't even want to highlight it and laugh at it and point at it. You're just boring. Full stop. Fuck off. Now I'm going to get on to Nathan Oakley and the Flat Earth Debate Channel, which is apparently full of intellects or something. Bear with me till you find this.
What money saving tips do you wish you knew sooner? I'll go first. If you install solar panels now, you can save up to 50% on your electricity.
It is, Arwen.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
It's pointless to assert. It's just a reification of something you can never prove.
Claim or need to. But our version is...
Right. Why does the Flat Earth Society claim this? Because as the baller could take that, which is actually claimed to make us all look Charles Vernon boys.
Because Brian has something freaking that blew us all away, and I would like him to get it out on a live show without interruption.
Yeah, Nathan. This is something. The problem with this is another thing that people think we don't need to deal with. Yes, we absolutely do. Right, all the other things that we thought we didn't have to, well, I didn't think. All the other things that people said, we don't have to deal with that. We did have to deal with it. This, I tell you what the problem is with this. One of the easiest ways to debunk this, right, even though what I'm going to use here is false, to the public, it's gold. I can use, right, Charles Vernon boys, 9.81 meters per second squared and a force of G to show with a demonstration, right, how gravity as a force debunks this. Now, the public don't know what gravity is. They don't know that it's not even a force officially anymore. All they know is the word gravity. So when this becomes a bit...
You're gonna have to bear with me. I never timestamped this. It's no far, right, where we start to get into the crux of this thing here. Let me just come back a wee second to see what's going on here. Ronald McGregor, we're talking about the up and down vector, no lateral motion. Right? Let's continue obsessing over the established reference frame and what happens in a lateral motion. It's irrelevant. Again, right now within the Earth, right? We're in the Earth, right? And you go in a rocket or a lift that goes 1,000 miles an hour and it stays at 1,000 miles an hour, and you hold an object, right? And you let it go. What's going to happen? Is it just going to remain in front of your face and continue going at 1,000 miles an hour? Because remember, the air in your new containment is all within your new reference frame, right? Still subject to drag and all these types of things, right? So you're in that and you let it go. Do you think it just hovers there and keeps going 1,000 miles an hour with you? Is that what you think? No. It's no longer attached to the thing that's given it its propulsion, its 1,000 miles an hour. So immediately it starts to decelerate. How's it going, Marty? Nice to see you there. I've no long started. You've not missed much other than the usual fucking nonsense that comes out of these people's mouths. Dell has to deny acceleration in a downward direction when an object is released. Drop the object from the top of a block of flats and record it. The object can be seen to accelerate. I've just explained this. I've just explained it to him and he's still too fucking stupid. And listen. You're in the reference frame, I lift the rocket doing 1,000 miles an hour and you let that go. Immediately it starts to decelerate and it gets slower and slower, more and more increasingly. So to your little fucking pea brain, that appears to go faster and faster. I've demonstrated with liquid and gas, right? Water and air, that when I let it go, there's a claim that there's an acceleration of that with the gas and the liquid down the way. There is no displacement of the gas and liquid. Gas and liquid displace in conditions of acceleration. When I put a dense object in it and I let it sink and I let it go, it stops sinking. When I put a more buoyant object in and it starts to rise up and I let it go, it stops rising up. Exactly, Rachie, because they're just dumb. I know you don't like this, but see me, Rachie, I draw a line in the sand. I'm not going to suffer fucking idiots. Again, I'll give them it once, but they continually keep coming with the same nonsense that's been responded to over and over and over again. And again, we have the practical references. They don't. They don't. But they want to sit and viciously attack and misrepresent. So I'm going to call them fucking retards, and I'm going to call them exactly what they are, because that's what they deserve. You can keep telling them that, Rachie. I've expressed it here clearly and concisely, but he keeps coming back and saying it because he's demented. Totally demented. He must be. During that burst, as object decelerates, force decreases. Because there's no force pushing it upwards anymore. If you're hanging onto the side of a fucking car, right, and it's pushing you along at 100 mile an hour and you let it go, do you keep going at 100 mile an hour with the car? No, you fucking don't. I think these people are constantly thinking that they live in a vacuum. I think they keep thinking they live in a frictionless environment or something. The two biggest factors that people keep missing. There is no displacement of gas and liquid on the downward vector when there's a claim of acceleration. Now people are requesting magical acceleration. Right? The other most important factor is that the motion of density and buoyancy stops when it's no longer connected to the Earth reference frame. When it's in free fall, it ceases to be. I don't know what powers the Earth, Zachary. Again, jumping to these things rather than just paying attention to the demonstrations and the facts. I've stated it over and over again. I don't know what's going on outside the reference frame. We could be moving linearly in a straight line. We could be tethered to something and doing an ellipse. We could be in some sort of coil, right, that's magnetised, that gives us our thrust, and we perpetually get run it on the face of whatever it is that's going run. I don't know. I could surmise and come up with all sorts of possibilities which I could actually demonstrate again. But I do not know. However, that does not take away from what we're discussing within the reference frame, the facts, the demonstrations, and what is actually going on within it. See? If the Earth's moving upwards, which power in the upwards? If that's where you need to go to in order to avoid the facts of the demonstrations so that you can hand wave dismiss them and get back to your little safety blanket, that's fine. But don't continually keep asking me that when I fucking told you. Go away and sit with Nathan Oakley or Flatzoid or whoever the fuck else makes you feel secure in yourself. All you're doing here is highlighting how fucking stupid you are. And if you want me to keep pointing at you and showing you how fucking stupid you are, that's fine. Well, I'll ask you, stationary earthers, what power's your stationary earth? What's it attached to? What's the thing that it's attached to? And what's that attached to? And what's that attached to? Can you answer me these questions, please? Fucking imbeciles. Absolute fucking imbeciles. Oh, Ryan, fuck off. Ryan thinks if I was in a fucking lift right now doing 1,000 miles an hour and I let it go, that it's just going to keep going with me. Get to fuck. I can't even deal with that level of fucking ignorance and stupidity. Get to fuck. Let me just get back to fucking blasting these ignorant cretins.
Bigger thing, and it will, if it's not addressed, what's going to happen is somewhere down the line on a documentary or something, somebody who's some PhD guy is going to destroy this claim with a force of G and 9.81 meters per second squared, boys, the calculation. And that's what's going to happen.
That's not what's going to happen, because other mathematics that's there can just be inverted. So the claim of an object accelerating towards the Earth can just be inverted to be decelerating, losing its initial speed.
Sorry to disturb you, that's us going
Right,
to
okay.
the dentist. I'll keep the back door open, just let her
Right,
come
okay.
out.
Right,
I'll
all
close
right.
this over.
Aye. She's going to jump, Emma, she's going to jump the fence.
I know, but what am I supposed to do?
I'll let her out soon, I'll not be long.
reason that that can be used to make us all look stupid and debunk this thing.
The thing that's making you look stupid is when you keep repeating that density is the cause of itself, that density is the cause of its motion through a medium, that the Earth's stationary, right? That's what's going to get it ridiculed, because you're talking through a hole in your arse.
On national on a documentary or something down the line. The reason it can is because one of the things that completely debunks this claim is the fact that there is different acceleration rates for things that are falling from different elevations.
Yes, that's because of surface area and the density of the object and blah blah blah. What are you talking about? If I'm standing up a hill and I let a feather go and I let a bowling ball go, the bowling ball hit the ground first. I wondered why. This is just basic stuff. What a fucking imbecile. Again, this shows you that they're talking in terms of a vacuum. Like, things fall at different rates in a vacuum or something. I don't even know. It's so difficult to grasp the stupidity that these people keep regurgitating.
Right, which means that the upward moving Earth, right, which is actually claimed to be accelerating itself, which is completely nonsense.
No, it's not. Some people might. I certainly don't. Never have done. Never have done. So what are you talking about, son?
Adam would tear that apart, later on, because I leave that to Adam.
Oh,
But
the great Adam. Can't wait to hear the words of wisdom from the great Adam.
if they claim it's constantly moving up at a constant rate, the fact of the matter is I can drop something from a low elevation and I can drop the same thing from a high elevation and the impact force will be greater.
Yes, that's because it has less time to decelerate. Right? Let me see what's going on here. Where's my stuff went? What the hell's going on here? Right, and the reference frame again. Right, so from this sort of position, it has less time to decelerate. Right, so it's still moving. If that was 1,000 miles an hour that this was moving, right, it's still losing its momentum. But if you drop it from up here, by the time the Earth gets to it, it's lost that momentum in the upwards direction. So it's going to have a bigger impact. You complete and utter retard.
Or from a higher elevation. Now, I, as the bowler, could take that.
This is what I'm saying about the keep asserting that people like me are claiming the objects are the things that are moving. That's not what's being claimed here. That's impossible. You need a causal factor, you need a force to make objects move. We have demonstrated that there is no displacement of gas and liquid in the downward vector when there is a claim of acceleration. You need magical acceleration in order for that to be true. The claim here is that it's a deceleration, a loss of its momentum.
On a documentary and make everyone in the flat earth arena look like idiots. So
I'm making you look like an idiot, son. It's you lot that make it look retarded.
important. And I'm sorry, but it is. Now it's easy to debunk.
This is the same guy that wrote that I put in here. The cause of something going up or down through the medium is purely down to density. This is this guy that's talking right now. That's the shitty idiotic statements he makes. The density of an object decides where it goes. Wow.
Brian, I think it's worse
That
than
doesn't
that.
mean. Go on.
Let Brian finish.
I thought you had, but go on.
No, Lacey,
You're the
Lacey
one
Rose said.
interrupting him, Neil.
Lacey
No,
Rose said.
hold on, let's just let Brian summarise his point. Go ahead, Brian.
The point is, I can debunk this in about 50 different ways.
No, you
I can
can't.
debunk this with a helium balloon because helium balloon can't go up. Because there's no reason for it to go up because relative density does not exist under that.
See what I mean? if this was the case, a helium balloon wouldn't go up again, right? Again, you can demonstrate how that happens in a vehicle, right? So we've got a vehicle, right? There's the front of the vehicle, there's a steering wheel, right? It's gone that direction, right? We've got a helium balloon attached to the floor. We've got different materials all hanging down here, right? And that starts to accelerate in that direction. All these things go in that direction, right? The helium balloon goes in this direction, right? That's because the air in there wants to remain where it is. And as that moves, it compresses the air here towards the back, right? Creating a more dense layer, more pressure, which in turn forces the helium balloon forwards. So let's just invert the car. That way, right? Oh, so it accelerates up that way, or it moves up that way, and we get a compression downwards, right? Which causes more density, which forces the helium balloon to go upwards. Ta-da! You can demonstrate these things. If you get off of Nathan Oakley's fucking circle jerk and regurgitating and repeating and patting each other on the back for your fucking idiotic empty nonsense, right? You would comprehend this stuff and stop misrepresenting real skeptics and genuine people like myself. Thank you very much.
Paradigm. All down is only perceptual, right? So the reason some things go down and some things go up is due to a density differential between the objects, substances, and the medium.
There we go again. This drivel. This is where Flatzoid gets his fucking rhetoric from. These fucking idiotic cretins. Let's just rewind that, shall we, and hear it in all its fucking glory again.
Because there's no reason for it to go up, because relative density does not exist under our paradigm. All down is only perceptual, right? So the reason some things go down and some things go up is due to a density differential between the objects, substances, and the medium.
That sounds all very intellectual, but it's just word salad. The density relationship to the medium makes it go up and down, except in freefall, where it ceases to be, until it's now again connected to the reference frame, and then it continues with its buoyancy and density vector. So if it's in free fall and your statement's correct, it should continue, denser objects should continue moving through the medium they're in. What are you talking about, son? That's not reality. Sorry. And again, I can invert the density, medium, gradient, motion, linearly, rotationally. I can recreate it, invert it. I can make it go 90 degrees to where it is right now. I can make it go in any direction, 360 degrees, three-dimensionally, if you like. Because I'm right and you're fucking wrong.
Right? Under that paradigm, there is no down. Down is only perceptual. You think something is going down because the Earth is coming up. Right? That means everything is hanging in free space, just like Einstein said.
No, it's no. Again, he thinks as soon as I let go of the object, it immediately goes to stationary. Because he's an imbecile, and so the rest of them. If the reference frame's in motion, the things I'm holding's in motion, it has to lose that motion. It doesn't just maintain it or immediately go to zero, that being totally stationary. You complete and utter shit for brains.
Right, which means if I leave go of a helium balloon and a brick, right, a building brick, the two of them must sit in free space until the Earth comes up to meet them.
Wow.
So that means the brick is not going down.
Wow, man. No, because the brick, when it decelerates, the air moving upwards can't support it, right? Whereas the helium balloon, it can support the helium balloon, so it pushes the helium balloon upwards. So it slows its rate of deceleration. It slightly slows the bricks, but not as much as the helium balloons.
And the helium balloon is not going up. Now I have a load of different ways, easy ways to destroy it. With the fall rates of things, and how a helium balloon and an airfilled balloon behave differently. The airplanes couldn't take off. There's a load of things. Right? Airplanes couldn't hold altitude. There's a million different things that I could use.
Airplanes don't get to altitude and all of a sudden there's some magical tractor beam that keeps them at altitude. They're constantly using thrust. They're having to bounce on the air to keep themselves afloat, to keep themselves upwards, to keep the altitude relative to the ground. It's constant power that's being utilised, you fucking moron.
But the problem is that our opposition, right? Why does the Flat Earth Society claim this? Because it's easy.
Why does he keep referring to the Flat Earth Society? Huh? Why does he keep doing that? Again, I arrived at this position through my own process, through my own questioning, asking how it can be. What tests could I do to show? Somebody's claiming to me there's an acceleration downwards. I know. Well, gas and liquid displace under conditions of acceleration, so let me drop this bottle and see if it displaces. Oh, whoops, it didn't. Then I look and I see, oh, density and buoyancy is the thing that causes up and down. Oh. But then I comprehend that the density of an object, or the less density of an object, has no mechanism for motion or direction or weight. So I know I'm going to put things in free fall to see if the density and buoyancy gradient motion is still present. Oh, whoopsie! Yet again, when it's not connected to the reference frame, it ceases to be. Wow!
Easy for people with a gravity mindset to show the public how it's debunked using their non-force of gravity. That's why.
Listen, fucking morons. There is a directional vector. Objects have weight to them. There is a density gradient where dense materials move through less dense mediums and less dense materials move through more dense mediums, upwards and downwards. Right? That's reality. The question is, what could be a causal factor for that? Stationary Earth, globe Earth fantasy tractor beam nonsense are no going to wash. Motion can recreate these things in any vector you like. And here you are, hand wave dismissing it. Seems a wee bit suspicious to me.
Okay.
As a claim.
So what you're saying is the only, because I tried to ascertain what the benefit to us was on a previous show, and I didn't get any decent answers. Why are we claiming this? What's it for? What's the point of claiming it? Do we need to explain how some things go down, some things go up, do we need to do this? No, we don't. There's no reason for us to have this.
Yes, you bloody well do, Nathan. It's part of reality. We're investigating reality. It's of vast importance to you if you claim you are a true seeker of truth. You are a flat earther. It's massively important for you to comprehend that if you're a flat earther professing that the Earth's a level stationary plane, then you're going to need some factor that makes an object move through three-dimensional space towards the Earth. You need a force for that, Nathan. That's where you're going to go wrong, because you're going to start invoking globe rhetoric, where you start to say, well, the gas in the water didn't displace because it's all being accelerated towards my flat stationary Earth at the same rate, so that the gas and the liquid appear to be a uniform solid. That would be you being a globe earther, Nathan, and your little idiotic panel, I'm afraid.
This burden. But we have. Well, now we know the real reason why it's there, and it was the same reason it was there from Flat Earth Society, and I think Brian's right. So that we can have our opponent set up a nice little false dichotomy.
No, it's not a false dichotomy. This is demonstrable fact, Nathan. This is the bit that you keep avoiding. I've yet to see any sort of practical demonstration in regards to this topic from any of you people whatsoever. Other than, regurgitating the same mantric statements over and over again. And you've been shown from me, you've been shown from countless globers about how that is impossible. And you need a causal factor for your claim. Maybe you just don't comprehend your worldview of a stationary Earth. You need a force if you're saying objects are the things that are moving towards the Earth. It's a requirement. Massively important.
With our version of what causes things to be stuck to a ball earth in space, sorry, we don't make that claim or need to. But our version is upward.
In order for them to push the globe earth nonsense, they had to take reality, that being that it's a reference frame that's in motion, and they had to subvert it, invert it, bastardise it, and come up with all sorts of hogwash to make everything go towards the centre of an idiotic cartoon sphere.
At 9.8 metres per second. What? A bit like Einstein described. All right. Why?
Again, nobody here's claiming that any object accelerates towards the Earth. It's ridiculous.
It's exactly what it is.
Why? Well, there is no reason why. I don't understand why Dell is doing this. I don't know what possible.
Because Dell's an honest man. Dell's honestly, been sceptical of his surroundings and the claims that men are making, and Dell's investigating and seeking to establish what's actually going on through practical reference. The same as I've always done. But you lot keep missing the practical demonstrations and what they signify and what they imply.
Reason he has to benefit from claiming this. There's no burden on Dell to make any of these claims.
There's my own burden, Nathan. There's a directional vector. We have weight to objects. We have a density gradient where we see a motion of density, right? Things moving through mediums. Physics is about analysing and looking for causal factors, mechanisms for why these things happen. Motion shows you how it can happen.
So by contrast, globers have got to keep people stuck to a spinning water ball flying at thousands of miles an hour through space. We don't have that burden. Why are we making claims about it?
Yes, you do. You're claiming a stationary Earth. So you need a causal factor for why objects in your model go towards the Earth. And just saying it's because it's more dense in the medium, well, again, in free fall it vanishes. So if the density of an object's the thing that causes it to move through any particular medium, up or down, it should be the same regardless of whether it's in free fall. As I'm holding the vessel and I put the dense material in and it starts to sink, it's sinking slowly. As soon as I let that go, it stops sinking. Why? Why? Can you address these points, please? With practicality, no word salad that you don't comprehend.
I don't know. That's the answer. But I don't care. I don't think you're right. I don't think it's going to poison.
They don't care. They don't care, right? But yet here they are misrepresenting, barefaced lying and talking about things they don't comprehend because they don't care. How does that make any sense to anybody? Huh?
I don't know why he does it either. It's really foolish because even if it were to be true, and of course Brian contradicts that, whatever, even if it were true, he would never be able to prove it. It's completely pointless.
Arwen, I'm demonstrating it day by day. I'm demonstrating it for you day by day. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's pointless to assert. It's just a reification of something you can never prove. Another aberration.
It's not a reification of anything. Claim is objects are accelerating towards the Earth. Gas and liquid show otherwise. The claim is that objects move towards the Earth because of relative density disequilibrium or whatever Earth fucking word salad you want to ascribe to it. Right? But yet when it's no longer attached to the reference frame of Earth, that doesn't happen anymore. So there go, your claim is absolute fucking jobby. So...
right? It's just gravity aberration in another format. Something you can't prove.
Yes, I can.
There you go.
Hey, check it out. Check it out. What I was going to say.
Hold on.
What I was going to say to get even
D-Rose,
worse.
then Brian again. But before you do go, D-Rose, hold that thought just one second. Jardo, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate the support. Jardo says, Neil Das protests too much about Globebusters. I think there is a secret love there. Yeah, you're not wrong. I always say the same thing when they talk about Globebusters. They're all going to rumpus me when I say this. I say, all right, so you're a fan then? And they all get annoyed. No, I'm not a fan. Well, did you watch it? Yeah. Well, then you're a fan. No, I watch it because I don't like it. Yeah, all right, okay, you love to hate it. Yeah?
Fan is a shortened word for fanatic. I can watch various things. Doesn't mean I'm a fanatic. Again, some people just don't comprehend the language they use.
Same thing.
Talking about Dell.
Yeah, I'm talking to Jardo. Just ignore us. Me and Jardo are having a little aside. Thanks for the super chat.
Hey, if you watch a show because you love it, you're a fan. If you watch a show because you hate it, you're a fanny.
You're a fan, all the same. You know, the fact that people make YouTube videos specifically about how...
I need to have a wee break for this just now. I'm going to come back to the chat box and see where I'm at here. If you could post down the mag post of address and down all that. Get to that when I finish. See Gary Wayabenga and all these people in the chat box, send me an email. Come in and speak to me directly. Any of you lot that think you know what you're talking about, come in and tell me. Come in and tell me. I've got the Gmail opened right now. There's the email address. Send me a fucking email. Stop wasting your breath in the chat box, which I'm not paying much attention to. Come and speak to me directly. There's hello, mate. Exactly right, it's always the same. Oh, it's no far enough, it's no far enough. I'm going to be beyond belief. If they don't ask to come in here and speak to me direct, I'm just going to start removing them because, they're just distracting. They're idiots. They don't have a grasp on what this is about at all, whatsoever. For Jack Stone, I mean, word salads, man. Word salads. It's magnetism, it's magnetism. So now magnetism's the thing that makes objects go towards the earth. So again, this magnetism accelerates a bottle with gas and liquid in it and no displacement because it accelerates the air, the liquid, the bottle all at the same rate just by magic. It's like they're so blinkered to what it is they're invoking. Tractor beam, Star Trek, gibberish. Let me get back to this.
How to monetize your haters. That's because they're fans too. They're just as much a fan as anybody else watching the show. Oh, they dislike rather than
fans.
like. Oh, right. Oh, they criticise rather. Yeah, that's all the same thing.
Okay.
Nah, they're not fans, they're fannies.
All right, let me go now, please.
Go ahead, D-Rose. Then
Before I forget what I was going to say. I meant to say this yesterday, but y'all ended the show. Neil asked me to yield. I did, and he didn't. Then I tried to say this, but it gets even worse. I heard from a Glober, and this is more of reification in a new way. for the gravitational nonsense. This is what they said. There is not an ever-expanding, infinite expanding universe, and the Earth does not accelerate upwards. They said it is an infinite contracting universe, which means, and AKA the sky is falling, because the universe, the ever infinite expanding universe, is coming inward toward the Earth. And that is what is making everything seem like the Earth is going up, accelerating, which gives the force of everything coming down fast. So be prepared for that. I don't know how much that's spreading, but this is what a globalist said. And don't take me verbatim, but break it down and decipher what I'm saying. That's what they're trying to say. Universe out there is squeezing in, coming towards us. The sky is falling, and that's what it makes it seem like.
That is like hello. Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, but the radio. But anyway, no, I watched with QE and Adam and I think Neil, maybe Chocolate the other day. The video that Dell put out, one of his first videos put out on this. And the problem is, Dell is making this claim because he doesn't understand what's going on within his own demonstration. And the same thing is happening with everyone else that's doing these demonstrations. They're not understanding the word.
So this fuckwit on Nathan's is going to save us all from our misunderstanding. Can't wait.
Acceleration of what that implies, and parts of their demonstrations. They're confused about their own demonstrations.
And are we going to get an articulation of the points with your practical references? Probably fucking not. You're just going to sit there bumping your gums.
Problem is, because Dell is pushing a bottle of water he has on his desk. A bottle that's half filled with water. He has it laterally laid sideways on his desk. And he's pushed.
It's not just lateral, it's in any vector. If I accelerate a bottle with gas and liquid in any direction you choose, the water and the liquid, the liquid and the gas will displace in any direction.
Pushing it, let's say, to from right to left, and the water is going to the back of the bottle while the air goes to the front. But his point then is that when he drops it, the water doesn't go to the top of the bottle and the air to the bottom. He's not understanding the water is not going to go to the top of the bottle and displace the air to the bottom, because the water is the heavier medium. It's not.
Again, it's not doing it because you want. What does that mean? There's no weight until it's in contact with the earth. Weight is only, relative once it's touching the earth. It has no weight in free fall. What are you talking about?
Water is always wanting to go down.
Water is always wanting to go down because it just wants to. It just wants to. It has a will of its own. Water is sentient and it wants to go down. What the fuck are you rambling on about, son?
In the medium of air, because it's more dense.
Oh, it's because it's in the medium of air and it wants to show it's got a relationship where once it knows it's in the air, it thinks, oh, I know where I am. I know what direction I have to go in because the water and the air are speaking to each other. What an infantile retard.
And that's what he didn't understand. So
he doesn't understand that the water speaking to the air. The water knows where to go. Oh, it's all solved. Everything's just the way it is because everything knows where it's supposed to be. Investigation over. No more physics to be done. Everybody go home and watch TikTok videos. Everything's just the way it is because that's what it wants to be. Hey-ho, everything's answered. Oh, whoop-de-fucking-do. What a fucking prick.
Standing of relative density. And
he doesn't have a standing of relative density, which vanishes when it's not attached to the reference frame. Whoopsie! Again, in his idiotic notions about the water and all that knowing its own fucking stuff. Now, it shouldn't matter if I'm letting something sink through water and I let go of the vessel, it should continue sinking because according to fucking your genius here, the object knows where it's to go because it's talking to the water And the water's deciding. Right, you wee brick. You go down there. You have to go down, brick. I know you don't know what down is. Don't worry about it. I'll program you with my pineal gland consciousness and tell you where to go.
And what and acceleration and how that works. He doesn't it's his lack
This
of
cunt's just fumbling. He keeps saying sentences that to the gullible would maybe seem intellectual, but to people like me he's just talking fucking gobbledygook. Total and utter fucking gobbledygook.
understanding that has brought things to this point.
It's misunderstanding. Is there a class I can go to where I can learn the language of water and how it decides directionality? I might have missed that class somewhere.
No,
If you look at his video, it is Arwen.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. That's what
Relative density only applies to a stationary medium.
And now I've got Arwen piping in. Relative density only applies to a stationary medium. Wow. Aye. That being when it's contacted the Earth. That's correct, Arwen. When it's contacted in the Earth. So you've got a fish tank of water and you're dropping pebbles in it and they sink. Right? When it's connected to the Earth, they will continue to sink. But when it's no longer connected to the Earth, they don't sink.
No, Arwen, you're
This is what happens when you sit in circle jerks perpetually, year after year, patting each other on the back. You don't progress, you don't learn anything. And you make mistakes and you regurgitate total gibberish. But because you've been patting each other on the back, it makes sense to you, oh, you fucking idiots. It's like the language of the fucking crazy. They know what they're talking about. Nobody else with a rational, sane mind has any fucking idea what they're rambling on about.
Have you seen his video? Have you seen his video?
Well, where's your experiments then?
Have you
to
seen
prove
his
that
video?
it also applies to an accelerating medium?
Jesus.
Anybody can demonstrate, again, the density, gradient's vertical. I can make it go lateral, I can invert it 90 degrees. And I can make that, density gradient now go laterally. I can use it in linear, or I can use it in a rotational. Right? And I can achieve the very same conditions that we find here on Earth. It's amazing. It's amazing what practical, play and real physics can show you.
Arwen, have you seen his video?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it then? Tell me about it.
Dropping some stuff and then it being very short-lived.
See, they don't even have a clue. Arwen's been asked and he's just saying, he's dropping stuff. Doesn't have a fucking clue. I think they're just hearing hearsay in regards to me, rather than coming. This is what happens when people don't speak direct to the horse, right? They go away listening to fucking Chinese whispers, bitches all bumping their gums about a lot of fucking nonsense, and they get 2 and 2 together and come up with 5 and embarrass themselves.
And,
that wasn't it. No, that wasn't it. That wasn't. No, he didn't even drop
video. You're talking about another video then.
Yeah, the video I'm talking about. Yeah. Arwen,
which one is that?
Arwen, what's wrong is that you don't understand what it is that you're arguing against. No, you don't.
No, you mate, you're the thickest fuck in there so far. You don't know what you're arguing against. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I do. I do actually watch Dell's channel.
You're stating
I do watch him talking about this shit.
So you're stating that the fall rate of a bottle of water through air is equal to the rise rate of a piece of cork in that bottle of water.
There he goes talking about fall rates and stuff. Right? Again, nobody here's claiming that happens. It's them that are having to claim that there's a fall rate. Because they're claiming that objects are the things that move towards the Earth.
No.
Yeah, so, you just debunked yourself then. Maybe you just shut up.
No need.
Maybe you should shut up.
I don't care, I've had enough of him, Nathan. I've had enough of him. he's making these big stupid claims.
If you're
He
just
doesn't know what he's
arguing
talking
against
about.
Dell
And then
This is
we-
another problem when people spend too much time together. Right? Familiarity breeds contempt. And they're all vying to be some super ego. Right? You know, more intellectual than their others. And that's how they operate. Because they're insecure, needy individuals.
Dell has said,
Are we?
and, yeah, go,
Are we?
man,
Are
go.
we?
But that's not
he
my
flips out and
argument.
rage
though.
quits. We tried to
I'm not
talk
rage
about
quitting.
this.
Why did you
We
stop
tried to
being
talk
bitch?
about this with him.
We're discussing
and he
it
just
now live.
rage
Stop
quit.
complaining about
Can
it.
we all just get along?
If you have complaints about what Dell has said, I get it. He's fucked it up. For sure, yeah? It's not
Well,
anything
is that right, Arwen? I've fucked it up. Fucked what up? How can I fuck anything up by demonstrating what reality shows me?
I stand behind.
You said no when I specifically pointed out exactly what the
Maybe
problem.
Arwen, if you're there, maybe Arwen would like to come in and put me right. Again, there's no emails for any of these people, there's nothing there.
Was and where Dell's confusion was. You said no. Without any
Dell's
backing
confusion
for that.
was, okay.
Yeah. Without
Dell's
any backing
confusion
for
is
it.
there,
That's what you
sure.
said. No, it's not. Well, that's exactly what's wrong. You can watch his video and see that he doesn't understand relative density. He's not understanding.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It's well understood. Relative density within any medium and the vector that's there and the motion that occurs. Right? But again, I'm going to keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it until you fucking face up to it. It does not work when it's in free fall. That motion is no longer present.
The water doesn't go to the top of the bottle.
The water has to be contacting the earth so that the upward motion gives a downward pressure. Right? That's where the pressure is coming from. And from there, the denser objects go downwards and the least dense objects go upwards. When it's not connected to the Earth reference frame, they stop. They do not move anywhere.
When it's dropped.
Yeah, it's
That's the
because
problem.
it's
That's
not
the starting
accelerating
problem.
properly down.
Oh,
Merely falling doesn't actually make that acceleration rate. You have to dive. Yeah, that's why it's not just a plane falling out of the sky. No, it's diving. Because there's air friction that's going to counteract the acceleration rate so that you
That's not the
don't
point.
even it out.
That's not the point.
Unless
The air is counteracting the deceleration rate. Right? In a vacuum, that's why things fall at the same rate. But when there's air present, it reduces the deceleration rate.
you rush
mean,
down.
the point
That's
is
not
the
point.
water
Okay, well, then there
is
is no
more
point.
dense than the air. So the air inside the bottle is not going to go to the bottom of the bottle while the water goes to the top when the thing is falling.
Yeah, it should if it's accelerating. That's what happens in cases of acceleration, I'm afraid.
The water doesn't go to the top of the bottle because it's heavier and more dense than the air. So it's
It's heavier and more dense, and we're back to us again. It's heavier and more dense, so it decides by its own accord. Wow, man. Wow.
going to go down. So the air that's in the bottle is going to stay at the top. Unlike when you
unless-
push it laterally,
Everybody, air and water. Everybody knew now. Air and water. Apparently, I'm the loony, right? These people are telling you that air and water decide themselves what's up and what's down.
Unless you
unlike
rush
when you,
it.
1 second, unlike when you push it unlike when you push it laterally, that's a different thing because you're causing the water then to go to the back, the back of the bottle. But it's still not going down. It's still not going up to the top of the bottle with the air underneath it. That's not happening. It's Dell's misunderstanding of his own demonstration.
I'm still trying to get clarity on what I've misunderstood here.
That's what the
That's
problem
for
is.
sure.
That's where this comes from.
He's definitely not understanding his own demonstration. Because he
Fucking hell, man. I see what I mean about the circle jerk. Now they're all trying to gaslight me. Well, they fucking waffle inane garbage about me no comprehending, while demonstrating that they don't comprehend anything.
he's not doing it properly. He's not even making his claim properly. Because throwing an object is not going to result in the proper acceleration rate. you'd have to make it fall faster than it naturally would. It would have to be.
Aye, Arwen, if I stood at the top of a cliff and I connected a bottle of water to an arrow, right, and then I drew back on the arrow a bow and I fired it down the way, do you know what's going to happen, Arwen? The water is going to move to the back of the bottle and the air towards the direction of acceleration, because that's what fucking happens under conditions of acceleration. So do you think if I take the bottle up a mountain and I let it go, that we're going to witness that at some point? Is that what you fucking think? Jeez, oh.
Be like rocket propelled downward, and then you will definitely see an axis reversal.
And any claim of acceleration, that's what we see, Arwen. So what are you new special pleading the same as the Globers? Huh? That it doesn't displace because there's a magic that's accelerating the gas and the liquid at the same rate? Is that what you're asking for, Arwen? You Glober.
We'll definitely see that. Water will be definitely pushed to the top and the air within it will definitely rush down if it goes faster than its normal fall rate, which is
There he goes
indeed
again, claiming that it's that thing that's the thing that's moving through space towards the Earth. They keep making these assertions as if they get a buy. You're just not getting a buy, and you're not getting away with it.
by the friction of the air,
Okay, guys.
and that
Okay,
it
stop
can
1 second.
exceed the acceleration rate.
Okay, just 1 sec. Quick shout out to Jardo. Who says,
sure,
love when
super
Brian
chats.
has a few glasses of red wine on the show.
Thank you for giving
I
me
think so,
money
it's
while we
pretty
sit
early
here and
but
waffle.
there we go.
Let
John,
us
go ahead.
right.
Thank you for the super chat, Jardo.
First of all, I got 2 points. If somebody's trying to argue with you that the universe is contracting, he's a heretic. Tell him to go argue with his priests. We don't make a claim about that. He can go deal with that with somebody else. Second of all, if 9.8 meters per second acceleration isn't enough to establish an axis of whatever in relative density, then the upward rising Earth at 9.8 meters per second is not enough to establish an axis of gradation or whatever.
That's because he's a missing. The Earth doesn't need to be continually getting faster and faster and faster, right? It's just that you don't comprehend it. When you let go of an object, it gets slower and slower and slower, thereby giving you the appearance that it's getting faster and faster towards the Earth. The Earth's moving at the same fucking speed that it was moving at, but the object that you let go is getting slower. See, if you were cycling alongside a train going at 50 miles an hour and you're pedalling alongside it at 50 miles an hour and you stop pedalling and the train keeps going, it appears to get faster and faster and faster to you because you're getting slower and slower and slower. Right? Fuck me.
The claim is nonsensical on its face.
Would have to exceed the standard acceleration rate downward. You have to move faster than the normal fall rate in order to reverse the density axis within the closed medium that is accelerating downward.
You can't reverse the density.
Yeah, you damn well can.
You can't reverse
Yeah,
the
you
density.
can.
You can't reverse
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Listen to this. You can't reverse the density axis. This is how closed off of reality these people are. You know, a centrifuge, any linear acceleration shows you that you can invert and reverse the gradient. You can reverse the whole thing. They're so fucking dumb. Why am I even fucking looking at this? I think it's just to highlight how fucking utterly insane and retarded these people are. It beggars fucking belief that they can be this fucking dumb. Gravity tentacles, exactly. They are loonies, Corey. They're fucking... Wow, man. They're all willing to go and sit in their wee fucking circle jerks. Where are they? Still don't have any emails for any of them. Asking to have some dialogue. You know, they rattle on about being scientific and intellectuals, but they're incapable. Same as Flatzoid the other night, incapable of concisely laying out what they're talking about, followed by practical reference. They just keep spewing word salad that doesn't make any sense, while asserting that they're somehow on a high horse, that they're correct. Well, Imran, that's what it starts to say to me, that these people are just deliberately, behaving like this. Now you need motion for static, exactly, finishing. Electrostatics are a result of motion. Show me electrostatics. The way I can invert the density gradient to directionality. I can mess with weight. I can mess with all these things that we have in reality by utilising motion in any vector that anybody requests it in. Now, electrostatics or any of this magnetism or any of the other, conceptual gibberish that they want to profess, can they demonstrate any of this stuff? They might have little parlour tricks where they can get little pieces to go from one plate to another, and this. Can electrostatics accelerate gas and liquid towards the earth without displacement occurring? Can electrostatics accelerate gas and liquid together without displacement occurring in any vector? Does electrostatics, responsible for why the density and buoyancy gradient motion ceases to be in free fall? Right, should I get back to this? I think there's more absolute derp still to come. It's just whether or no you can handle the derp. One for continue, a 0 for no, we just talk amongst ourselves from the chat box. Still no emails, what a surprise. No, we're at 3 each up, we're at 5-3 now. 6-3, 6-4. Of course you need motion for it. Exactly, mate. No. The ones are outweighing the zeros here. I'll leave it for another minute. Let the cringe continue. Sleepy Jean, you understood first time around. Good. Maggie M, 1. Cringe it up. Oh, he's love the drama. He's love it. I might have a hernia from laughing. I've already got a belly button hernia. The hernia came about, because the muscle in there just decided. It was nothing to do with push forces or anything like that. Nah, it just decided. Same as water. Do you know what? I don't want to be here anymore. I want to pop out a wee bit. Because inanimate fucking materials, they just decide stuff according to these fucking fruitcakes. Right, let's get back to it. I can't guarantee how long I'm going to last with this fucking...
Okay.
Just have to make it move faster.
You can't do that. What you're trying to... No, you're trying to...
Yes.
Owen, please just stop. Both of you stop. Owen, you can't just keep saying, yeah, you can over the top of him when he's trying to respond. Please. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, that's just a baseless assertion fallacy. That's just in his own imagination. It's possible, kind of like it's possible within the imaginations of the Assyrians. Why how density suddenly polarizes itself. No, that doesn't happen.
It does under conditions of motion, man. What is wrong with this guy? Does he not know what a centrifuge is? Has he ever moved anywhere out of his mummy's basement in his entire life to actually experience the effects of motion? I mean, what?
That's your imagination, Arwen. No, things fall at the rate they fall. If you pull the bottle down, right, fast, to try and make the water slosh around within the bottle, some of the water will go to the top. But when you leave it go, that water is going to be at the bottom of the bottle, no matter how fast it's falling. Because it's more dense.
No, it's not. Again, they must have missed this bit. The relative density aspect within the medium vanishes in free fall. What is it that this guy's just no getting?
Point. That's why it's going down.
Does anybody recognise that they keep missing these bits? Did I make the demonstrations invisible so that only me and Marty and others that can see it, away they live now? Oh, it's only us that can see. I mean, I don't know. What is going on?
Down. If it wasn't more dense than the air around it, it would be going up.
There it goes again. It knows what's round it. I mean, he doesn't understand that he needs a mechanism. He needs something that factors, that makes that decision. That the mechanism that makes it be that way.
Yeah, you don't understand relative density.
So something that's less dense than the medium goes up, and something more dense than the medium goes down is wrong now, is it?
Why am I a Verbo host? Well, I love my play.
With any response
Well,
yet?
Respond.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, as I thought.
Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
I like
Nathan.
that. Look, I'm not even part of this thing. I'm just hearing it for the first time. But sounds like Dell is saying things that he can't support. Maybe so. I don't understand.
Again, whoever you are, Dell can 100% support every fucking thing that he's saying. It's you lot that cannot, with your immovable stationary pish flaps.
Understand why we can't do a review video on Dell and what he said to get us all caught up to this
Well, watch this and you'll get caught up.
point of the debate of it.
Well, just shout out to Michael Kine, who says,
And there's no debate either. There's just practicality. Claims, word salads, and the practical, actual, real world. And how things actually behave in the actual, real world.
Richard says, Earth doesn't move. Game over. Thank you for the super chat.
Brilliant.
The real problem, 10th, is there's no coherent claim made about this. So,
Again, for anybody that's here, I think I've been quite coherent, and I think I've articulated it over and over with specifics, with demonstration. I don't know how any it can be confusing.
all you can do is work with the fragmented attempts that they make. And
this is like ad hominem. This cretin now, again, it's just trying to attack from, trying to get people's attention away by discrediting the man. I'm fragmented, I don't know what I'm talking about, blah, blah, blah. Very good. Well done.
try to rationalize something in it, and you never get anywhere with it because it's a baseless assertion at best and a red herring fallacy attached to
They
it.
just like saying these things, baseless assertions, red herring fallacies. What's a red herring? What am I offering that's a red herring? Where? Can you articulate the specifics of my red herring fallacy, please? What the fuck are you rambling on about? Each guy that speaks is more dumb than the other.
There's nothing there.
Here's what I know, being on the side of it, not involved. they say Einstein says the Earth is moving up. Then they say...
Where did Einstein say that? Where did Einstein say that? They keep saying that I either got this from the Flat Earth Society or Einstein said it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Einstein ever said that the Earth was doing that. He laid out the equivalence principle for good reason. Because again, the globalists had to reverse engineer actual reality and bastardise and twist it in order to make their globe Earth work on paper. Because they knew fine well they had to have a causal factor for the directional vector and why we have a density and buoyancy gradient and a motion within that. They knew, because they were a bit smarter than you lot, that they required that, because people at the time who were mechanical and practical comprehended this stuff. So they knew they had to twist it and bastardise it and hijack it so that they could make their globe Earth fantasy work on paper.
Flat Earth Society says the Earth is moving up. Now, Dell is saying the Earth is moving up. So,
relative to us, the Earth could be in a rotation, an ellipse, it could be moving linearly, it could be untethered, moving through some coil, some electromagnetic coil. I mean, I do not fucking know.
Where is the information? Where is the evidence for this, and why?
It's reality. It's been shown to you a million fucking times.
Are these three different arguments being made that the Earth is moving up? The audience would like to know if it's just made up fantasy, who is
no, it's the most logical, the most reasonable, the most sound reason, based on practicality, based on demonstration. It is the most logical, rational, reproducible, that you can invert and change in any directional vector and recreate the conditions of our environment.
First, why is it still being talked about, and is there any proof for it?
I can watch the video, but we watched the video the other day, a couple of us in the after show, and what it was is that Dell didn't understand his own demonstration.
They just keep saying this. They're not addressing any of the factors whatsoever. All they keep saying, listen to this, Dell doesn't understand, Dell doesn't understand, where have we heard that before? What type of mindset have we heard that coming from before? No articulation of the demonstrations whatsoever. Not addressing any aspect of the demonstrations whatsoever. Not addressing any mass claims regarding the claims that have been made about these demonstrations whatsoever. Nothing. Just, Dell doesn't understand. Dell's a bad man. Dell doesn't understand.
He was expecting something to happen that won't happen because...
Talk about delusions of grandeur, right? These people are suffering from Dunning-Kruger and they have massive delusions of grandeur, right? They think they are something. That's usually what people suffering from Dunning-Kruger behave like.
Of relative density. And he thinks that then debunks relative density. He doesn't understand that what he's expecting to happen won't happen.
See? He doesn't understand what will happen, won't happen. You claim that water decides, and that the density of an object, it decides what's down and what's up. So in free fall it shouldn't matter, according to you lot. Air bubbles should continue to rise and more dense materials should continue to sink. But they don't. And you keep avoiding it.
Because of relative density. It's a misunderstanding with physiks and the word acceleration.
So,
because
again, what's he talking about here?
I've heard him use the term acceleration.
When?
Adam pointed out the other day, and Adam can clarify this, that to claim the Earth is accelerating up the way, which means it's not moving at a constant velocity. Now, if any of them are making that claim...
No, he's saying if any of them. So he's talking about a claim that apparently I made, and now he's saying if they made that claim, so now he's addressing a claim that nobody here's ever made. So who's he talking to?
I have heard that claim, the word acceleration being used. That means that, as Adam points out, something that's dropped now.
Have we lost Brian?
Brian dropped off.
Yeah.
This bit's important because this is a bit I was highlighting where they think when you let an object go, people like us are certain that the object freezes and floats stationary. Right? This is where you'll catch it.
Connection issues. He'll be back in a second.
I'm back, sorry about that.
Go ahead.
No, I was trying to turn off an alarm. But something that's dropped now and something that's dropped tomorrow or next week has to fall at a much faster rate because the acceleration rate is constantly increasing. That's the whole point.
That's if people are claiming that. I'm claiming it would be moving at the same speed, and the objects are the things that decelerate. Right? Given your idiotic pea brain the notion that it's getting faster and faster. It's getting slower and slower. The object that you let go is getting slower and slower.
Point of Charles Fernan boys, 9.81 meters per second squared, is that the object that's falling, the longer it's falling, the greater its acceleration. So
I'll explain this, Brian. I'll explain it.
Wow.
If you have a 9.8 meters acceleration, you have a constant increase in speed or change in velocity. So your flat earthers can't be playing in orbit, or they're really dumb.
Now they're talking to ghosts, because I don't know who's claiming any of that stuff.
So the only thing left is straight up increase in speed.
Nope.
So that, they don't understand what acceleration is when they make that claim.
Why?
They're just telling everybody that they don't understand. This is the new priesthood, apparently, people. None of you understand anything, so you need to go to this channel so that these bright, great minds can word salad you to death.
Why is that something that needs to be claimed by flat earthers? I'm still in the dark. I know I asked it earlier. I've listened. I don't think I've got an answer to that yet.
I'll clarify it for you, Nathan. If you're a flat earther claiming that the Earth's stationary, you need a causal factor for why you would assert that an object moves towards the Earth. Okay? It's very simple, sir. Very simple. Objects do not move of their own fucking accord. Saying an object's density is the causal factor for its motion is the words of a fucking imbecilic retard. That's why, Nathan. Okay? Okay, hopefully that fucking clears it up for you. Okay?
What's the primary positive reason or assertion or benefit for us as flat earthers claiming this? What are we trying to prove?
Right.
Hang on.
I need to go for a piss. I'm going to come back in now. Right, because this is making me literally pish myself. just going to insert these two little clips here for the morons while I'm here. Let me see. That one up, just let me pause that there. Right, let me get that there. Let me see. Screen share. Right. So this here is a demonstration of being connected to the earth. According to these fruitcakes, the water knows where it's to go, and this being, you know, relative to the medium, which would be the water, that being more dense, that somehow that object knows that it's to go down, right? Just like so. And then we cut to here. Very same scenario, it's going down, then when the whole thing is let go, right here, bang, that stops moving down. Now according to the name, that should know, and the water should know what weighs down, so it should just keep fucking well moving. But it doesn't. Right? Let's just see here. Same with the buoyant effect. Stops moving through the medium. That's because magic takes hold when you let it go, and the magic freezes it all and then accelerates the whole thing like it's a uniform solid towards the earth, because we're intellectuals and we sit on Nathan Oakley's circle jerk, patting each other on the back while we talk utter shite.
You're asking that question as if there's a community of flat earthers that have an agreed upon manifesto of how things work.
I don't
what
mind
we have
phrasing
is
what's in it for the individual, flat earther or otherwise, to claim upward acceleration at 9.8 meters per second per second.
Hey Nathan, there's a vector, a directional vector, there's a buoyancy and density gradient of motion. There has to be a cause. Okay? Okay. Glad we've cleared that up now. That's the relevance. The other relevance is that it totally annihilates the globe Earth. Right? Because they need special pleading like stationary flat earthers, where they want some magic tractor beam that freezes everything and accelerates it all like a uniform solid towards the Earth, Nathan. Why is that so difficult for you to comprehend?
What's in it for them?
Clarity.
I think, Brian,
further progress in our understanding of reality and how it actually functions. That's what's in it for people who are curious about their environment. I know that you probably don't care anymore because you've got your little fucking circle jerk and you've got your super chats and you've found a nice little cosy place, so you move no further. That's fine. But I'm not going to let you away with fucking insulting me and shitting all over practical reality because you don't comprehend it or you don't like it and your wee feelsies are all upset about it. I'm going to continually rub salt on my finger and then stick it right into your wee wound. You know that wee wound that you have between your legs? The axe wound. That's right, Nathan. I'm going to rub salt on that until it stings. Okay, son?
alluded to it already. It's some way to talk about gravity. That doesn't exist in the first place.
Well, for fuck's sake, the directional vector and the density and buoyancy gradient don't exist anymore according to these fucking idiots. They don't comprehend that that's what it's trying to explain. That's why they need gravity. Because real people with actual functioning brains ask questions about these things. So they needed something. Okay? Okay.
No, it's a mathematical advantage. That's all.
Well, New Arwen's coming up with the other word salad. It's a mathematical advantage. What the fuck are you talking about, New Arwen? Where's the mathematical advantage in the practical demonstrations, Arwen? What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's about gravity at the end of the day.
I think they're just trying to outdo each other with who can come up with fancy words. And I'll just say stuff with an assertive tone and hope that I establish myself in the hierarchy of derp. I want to climb the ladder of derp. So I'm just going to try and sound windswept and interesting and intellectual by randomly interjecting with nonsense gibberish.
Oh.
It's not gravity.
I'm not saying it is gravity.
Control.
I'm saying it's, my gosh. How many versions of gravity do we got, Arwen? Is this just another one?
What it is people, just like with the Ethereans, they can't accept that the cause of something going down or something going up in the medium is just purely down to density.
There, you heard that again. The cause of something going up or going down is purely down to density. Yes, when connected to the reference frame. Right? When it's not connected to the reference frame, that doesn't happen anymore. Why are you not addressing that fact? What word salad gibberish are you going to come up with to try and explain that one away, son? I cannot wait to see the mental gymnastics that are performed in front of me.
Looking for more than density. And they won't find it.
Because in free fall it's no there. Density is not a cause of motion, you fucking imbecile.
In pseudoscience and misunderstandings.
I know how to make my car move. Make it more dense. That internal combustion engine just doesn't have enough density. Throw some density at it and it shall move like fucking lightning. Fuck me.
That's the problem we have.
Oh
They're looking
dear.
for something that's
I
more
think
than
you've
density.
got much more problems than anybody else, mate. Seriously.
They're looking for basically what it, like, it's kind of like they go looking for the cause of relative density and they can't find it because it's basically entropy.
Oh, for fuck's sake, no, it's entropy. Yes, the cause is motion. I can invert it in any directional vector you like. We'll see what I mean about just injecting words. I think their audience is that dumb that their audience is just happy to sit there and think they're hearing some intellectuals who have got their corner covered. You know, if these guys go to mainstream and talk like that, then you're going to get a fright, I'm afraid, because people are just going to burst out laughing at them. Density causes itself. Density is the cause of motion. I would love to see that. I hope that fucking shit for brains, whoever these fuckwits are, I'd love to see them going and speaking to somebody. Yes, the cause of motion is density. Ford manufacturer, stop! Your cars will go quicker if you make them more dense. Remove the engine, add more density. They found a new source of free energy. Just make it more dense and it'll move.
They can't find the cause of entropy and then they go off down a different road. I don't know why they keep looking for.
They're looking for the cause of the density. Why is it arranged the way it is?
Well done, Armin.
So not
No,
does
that's not what Dale
something
claimed.
move because it's denser or less dense, but why does it move like that?
No, Dale
where they get stuck up.
Dale said he was looking for the reason that everything falls down.
Well, there you go. Everything
Except for
doesn't fall
helium
down.
balloons.
Yeah, everything doesn't fall down. So there you go. It's just another form of gravity.
Wow, man. Theirs is the other form of gravity. Ah, man. It's theirs that's the other form of gravity. Globe Earth needs magic to make stuff go towards it, right? They need a mechanism. They even recognise that they need it. Stationary flat Earth, right? When they say an object is a thing that moves towards the Earth, they need magic, the same as the globe Earth. They need a causal agent. They need a mechanism that makes the things move towards the fucking Earth. They're the ones that are the same as the globe Earth. And I think they're at it. I think they're globe Earth agents that are just here to fucking make sure that people don't progress. Because they're talking utter shite. Which is why they're no rushing in here to speak to me. They'll quite happily sit in their circle jerk, misrepresenting, telling barefaced fucking lies and endlessly regurgitating word salad. As long as they've got an audience. They are the same as the globe. Get it right. Globe needs magic for down. Stationary needs magic for down. End of fucking story. I don't think I can put up with any merit. I'm sorry. Look at Jack Stone's word salad. Things fall down due to the amount of least resistance from the energy above the exchange of motion is due to the differential pressure or energy introduced. Equalization is the phenomenon. Bamboozling word salad. Oh, I must be right. Oh, you're going to say words. What's energy? Can you define energy? Can you provide me some? I mean, if that doesn't leave you fucking miffed into what these people are actually about, I mean, aye, beyond belief. The energy's in the field somewhere. It's out there. Energy's out there having a conversation about inanimate matter. Oi, I'm going to tell you something, inanimate matter. I'm energy, right? I'm embodied and I've got a consciousness the same as you have, right? Down's that way, by the way. So see you, right? You need to go down there. Oh, fuck me. It's like, you know, people don't grasp that physical reality, motion, and any motion that we witness, right, it requires a mechanism. It's akin to me saying, somebody saying, you know, why does a car move? I wonder why that car moves. And one of these fuckwits going, it's a car. It knows. A car is dense. Ask no further questions. Hello. Yeah, no worries. Can I give you a call back? I'm just busy at the moment. I was just waiting until I was finished. That's no worries. Right, I'll give you a wee call back. Alright, thank you. Cheers. Bye bye. Density agents, aye. Well, son, you know, the way a car functions, the way motion functions is that it's dense. Cars have density and stuff, you know what I mean? And there's some water in it, so the density of the car and the water are in communications with each other. And the water's informing the density of the car, which way's forward. Mr. Jones, motion is caused by a force. Something drops, I'm guessing it was lifted to get that height, and density did the rest. Oh, wow. Oh no. That's it, Des. Contact Formula One. The Nathan Oakley crew have figured out the secret. Right, Verstappen, you cunt. You're no dense enough. And neither's your motor. We're going to add some density to you. Oh man. Oh dear. Oh. You fucking need to laugh. If you don't, you'd have a fucking mental breakdown, lending your attention to these fucking imbeciles. Well, my car's denser than the air, Mr. Jones. It's not moving. Should I go out and add some Play-Doh to it or something? I mean, we'll put some bricks in the boot. Will that make it go faster? Oh, fuck me. The thing is, Imran, is, you know, they're in there with little groups of fucking obfuscators. So you're, it's the same as the Flatzoid. He's got a little fucking band, a brigade on his shoulder chirping, you know, and they're just regurgitating and repeating the same mantras. If they were honest people, none of this is complicated. What's been laid out and demonstrated is very, very simple to comprehend. So you then have to ask the question is, why are they having so much trouble with it then? Why are we just getting hand-waved dismissal, attacks on my character, word salads about density causing motion and all this stuff? I mean, that doesn't make any logical, rational sense to me. That tells me that there's some other factor at play here. What is their motive? Why are they behaving like that? Is it just because they are really that stupid? It's a possibility. But I can explain this to my 10-year-old son. I can demonstrate these things to my 10-year-old son, and immediately he grasps what's going on. He knows that things don't just move by themselves. He's known that since he was an infant, that he had to push things and apply force to make things move. Anyhow. Oh. side, it's certainly, that seems to be the case. Oh, yeah. Let me see if I'll get any requests from the geniuses. Oops, none. What a surprise. I'm not in here with a circle jerk and fucking, you know, a bunch of parrots chirping on my shoulder for support. If they were really that curious about any of this or had anything to offer, just like the Globe Earthers, they would be here. Nope, Rachie, it's gobbledygook word salad. I'm seeing that continually. They must be part of the same bands of the Oakley crew spreading out for Flatzoid and they're getting all this. They think they're talking sense and they're just talking gibberish. They don't even know that they're talking gibberish. They're rattling on about energies and all that stuff and saying idiotic things about, you know, how it's just the way they want to be. How can the air move in lockstep? The air's constantly fucking moving, right? You can see it in a car. If you put a helium balloon on the floor of your car and you hang little lead weights, right, and you accelerate forward, the helium balloon goes forward with the car. The other things swing towards the back. That's because the air's being compressed towards the back, making it more dense, which causes a buoyant effect of the helium balloon being pushed forwards. Don't know what's moving the earth. No idea. Again, if that's an attempt to avoid the facts, that's fine. If that's what you need in order to avoid the facts and get back to your comfort zone, that's fine. But because I don't know what's outside the earth, does not negate what's being shown to you. That again is akin to a murder never happened here. I know there's a dead body and blood splattered all over the walls, but it never happened because I don't know the motive. I don't know what made it happen. Deal with the facts. Deal with what's being presented to you. Stop jumping to avoid it. So that you can say, well, you don't have an answer for what's happening outside the reference frame, so therefore, I can get back to my idiocy. Carry on. Carry on. Well, in regards to us as sentient beings, Imran Ali, that's very true, which is a whole other topic of discussion. You know, there's a mechanics to the body which is leverage, the same as any machine, where something pushes upon something else to achieve the motion. Same as every facet of reality. However, when it comes to us as sentience, we have a metaphysical component, that being thought, a mind, intent, will, desire. These are things that we cannot, you know, objectify. We can't take them out and look at them, right? Which is a whole other discussion. There is no downward acceleration, Jack Stone. People like you assert there's a downward acceleration. There is none. Gas and liquid don't displace on the downward vector. If you're going to keep asserting there's a downward acceleration towards the earth, you need magic. Because you need leverage. You need something that pushed to make motion happen. The sooner you grasp that, the better. You know fine well that you would never in actual reality assert to some person of any intellect that objects move by themselves. You would never ever dare, because you know how preposterous that is. Well, I don't care about what you think TP in a tree. I don't care about your incredulity. I don't feel it. Do you feel your own weight right now? Are you telling me that you don't feel your own weight right now? Are you talking about you don't feel any judders, like when you're driving in a car and you go over a bumpy road and you know you're moving? Is that what you're talking about in your childlike, infantile mind? The very fact is that right now you experience your own weight. So don't tell me that you're not experiencing motion, because you fucking well are, sir. No, there is no acceleration. I'll go back and listen. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. Bye-bye. I've had enough of the stupid for one day. Hopefully the bright minds have more clarity. The stupid will remain stupid. And we continue on. Take care.